Andrei Sakharov was a hero of the Soviet Union. He was a brilliant physicist, a 3-time hero of socialist labor, and the man who gave his country the hydrogen bomb. He lived in the most privileged world imaginable, the secret city of Artemis 16. But Sakharov had a secret of his own. He was beginning to hate the very weapons he had spent his life creating. This is the story of the bomb maker who became the conscience of a nation. The turning point for Sakharov was the test of the Tsar Bomba in 1961. As he watched the 40-mile-high mushroom cloud rise over the Arctic, he didn't feel triumph. He felt a profound sense of dread. He realized that he had unleashed a power that could end humanity, and that the regime he served was more interested in power than in survival. Sakharov began to speak out. At first, it was quiet. Internal memos to the Soviet leadership, urging them to halt nuclear testing and seek peace with the West. But the Kremlin didn't want peace. They wanted parity. They ignored him. So Sakharov went public. In 1968, he wrote an essay titled Reflections on Progress, Peaceful Coexistence in an Intellectual Freedom. It was smuggled out of the USSR and became a global sensation. In the essay, Sakharov argued that the only way to prevent a nuclear war was through global cooperation and the protection of human rights. He called for an end to the secret cities and the opening of the Soviet system. For the Kremlin, this was the ultimate betrayal. The man who knew their most sensitive secrets was now their most dangerous critic. The retaliation was swift. Sakharov was stripped of his security clearance and banned from Artemis 16, the city he had helped build. He was fired from his research positions and placed under constant KGB surveillance. But he wouldn't be silenced. He continued to protest against political trials, the invasion of Afghanistan, which ended the persecution of other dissidents. In 1975, Sakharov was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. The Soviet government was humiliated. They refused to let him travel to Norway to accept the prize, calling him a traitor to the motherland. But the world was listening. Sakharov had become a symbol of hope for millions of people living behind the Iron Curtain. Finally, in 1980, the Kremlin had enough. Sakharov was arrested and sent into internal exile in the closed city of Gorky. For 7 years, he lived in a small apartment, cut off from the world, with KGB guards outside his door. He went on hunger strikes to protest the treatment of his wife, Yelena Bonner, and to demand the release of other political prisoners. It wasn't until Mikhail Gorbachev came to power and launched his policies of Glasnost and perestroika that Sakharov was finally allowed to return to Moscow. In a famous phone call, Gorbachev personally invited Sakharov back, signaling the end of an era of absolute repression. Sakharov spent the last years of his life as a member of the new Soviet parliament, fighting for a truly democratic Russia. He died in 1989, just as the Berlin Wall was coming down and the Soviet Union was beginning to collapse. Andrei Sakharov's journey is a testament to the power of the individual conscience. He showed that even in a world of absolute secrecy and total control, one person can make a difference. He turned his back on the white archipelago of privilege to stand up for the truth, and in doing so, he helped change the world. But while Sakharov was fighting for freedom, other Soviet scientists were trying to build a different kind of utopia, a city dedicated entirely to science, far away from the prying eyes of the Moscow bureaucracy. In our next video, we're going to Akademgorodok, the academy town that was supposed to be the future of the Soviet Union.